Hi, this is Ernie Green. I am sitting here with Mike Schwitter, who is our Tommy in Brigadoon, which is coming up at Maryland Hall on September 26th and 27th at 7:30 p.m. And Mike, welcome. I'm so glad to see you, and I can't wait to work with you again.
Thank you for having me. I'm very, very excited to work with you and to tackle Brigadoon.
We did South Pacific last year together in Toledo. So now we're going from the South Sea and we're going all the way to Scotland. And so this is going to be fun. So I said this to Emily Casey the other day. Emily is our Fiona, and you haven't met her yet, but you will soon. And I said, this is one of my favorite musicals, sort of, especially sort of in the golden age kind of thing. I just I love the story. I love the sort of magical part of it. But I also, and you were just talking about the music. I love this music. This is great. And so, tell me what you like about this show.
Well, as we were saying before, I've actually never seen Brigadoon live. I just know kind of the greatest hits, the songs that Lerner and Lowe kind of made famous. And as I was listening to the soundtrack the other day to more familiarize myself with it, all of those interludes and the dance moments, it's all on the soundtrack. And I thought, wait, this is gorgeous. It makes me wish I got to see a live production of it, but I'm glad to. Sometimes I like doing a show for the first time, like having not seen it before, because
Right.
then I don't have any preconceived ideas of what it is. But
Right.
I'm so excited to sing it. I mean, the
Yeah.
songs are so gorgeous.
Well, and we were talking earlier also the orchestration, the way that the orchestra is handled and the vocal parts are handled. One of the things that's sort of interesting to me about this as the conductor is that um, Lowe did all of the vocal arranging. So all of the vocal writing is by the composer. The orchestrations he farmed out to a guy named Ted Royal, who was a wonderful Broadway orchestrator, but um, they really sort of hit pay dirt, I think, with this show. And one of the things that you sort of dig around with this one is one of the things that got them thinking about a show like this was that Rodgers and Hammerstein at that point had extraordinary success with their musicals, and they were trying to figure out a way. They'd had some smaller shows together that were less successful. And if you look at this, I always sort of laugh about it because if you look at it, there you have the two love stories. You have the serious one, the sort of dewy-eyed one with you and Fiona, and then you have the silly one with Meg and Jeff, who really is not interested in love at all.
Right.
But they sort of carve a little love story, and then there's this third story in Brigadoon, which exists, in my opinion, only to give us the beautiful music for things like "Come to Me, Bend with Me," Bonnie Jean. There's nothing in the story that you don't need that third love story for
Right.
anything else. And this is a great example of you have two people, a book writer and a composer who had this music, and they're like, we got to get this out. So they wove another story in, and it's just beautiful. It's a
Was
beautiful
it 47 seasons?
47, 47. Isn't that crazy?
That's
47.
crazy.
Yeah.
Was this kind of like you said, was this their first kind of bigger hit?
This was their first big one, I think. I'm not sure about that, but I'm somewhat certain about it. I mean, they had some smaller successes with this um with other shows that I mean, yeah, I couldn't even tell you one. And then this one, they really went back to the drawing board and they crafted the music and the story. And if you really listen, it's um the different love stories have different kinds of music. You know, you and Fiona have this very elegant music, and Meg and Jeff, it's like, it's all Meg. Jeff doesn't sing, but it's all kind of raucous and raunchy.
And very similar to Oklahoma. I mean, you mentioned Rodgers and Hammerstein. I mean,
Exactly.
a lot of parallels there.
Yeah. Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
two
And
different.
you have The Jilted Lover with Harry Beaton and Judd.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. Right. It's I mean but this I love these golden age musicals. And if you were to ask my family in an unguarded moment which classic musicals, they'd say, what is Ernie like? I would say this show, Carousel,
Hmm.
Oklahoma, Guys and Dolls, those sort of golden age shows. Well, Guys and Dolls is actually a little later, but
For me, it's Music Man was
oh
my.
well, that was my next one is Music
Was
Man.
it really?
Yeah, see, I was going to say Music Man after Guys. Music Man is like it's like a perfect show.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a perfect show. You
My,
know?
my dad did Music Man in high school.
Oh wow.
He was an athlete, but I think they probably forced them to do a show at some point
Right.
to graduate. And he just fell in love with the music. And I remember as a toddler, my dad would sing the Wells Fargo Wagon
Oh yeah.
to put me down to sleep. And so before I even knew what musicals were, I knew the songs from Music Man.
Again, it's this perfect show. There's some shows where you have to really, as you get into the process, I feel like, and it's the same with doing an opera. You have to figure out a way to get it so that you fit into the clothing of that show. Um, and but Music Man is like you can't change. It's you got to leave it alone. You know.
And I think so many shows that came out of that golden era follow a formula that now if you were to redo it now, it would almost feel not sincere.
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I don't know, it's like opening a book and
Yeah.
falling in. I mean, all this kind of music, it just
Yeah.
transports to that era.
Yeah. Well, Jim and I were talking. Jim Norman, who I should also say Mike and I worked with in Toledo. Jim is the general director at Toledo Opera, which is where Mike and I met when Jim was directing South Pacific, and Jim is coming down to do this. And Jim and I, were sort of talking, and he said, "Well, do we want to keep it?" I'm assuming we want to keep it set in this sort of late 40s, late 40s time period in terms of the way that we treat costumes and we treat staging. And I said, yeah, for me, I said, absolutely. I said, Jim, I don't know how you feel about the dialogue. There's definitely some late 40s sort of, post World War II sort of lingo in the script. But what really does it for me is that the music and the way it's scored has a feel and a sound that immediately when I hear that, it transports me back to that era. It's almost like if you tried to modernize Brigadoon, um, something would, it just wouldn't fit. All right, so here's the question. Here's the rub question, and then I'm gonna let you go for the night. I asked Emily about this, but we're doing Brigadoon. Have you seen Schmigadoon?
I've seen parts of Schmigadoon. I have not seen Schmigadoon from start to finish
All right,
because I didn't have the streaming platform it was on.
right?
However, I've seen all of the musical
Oh
numbers
my God, they're
on
brilliant.
YouTube.
They're
Yeah.
brilliant. All right, so you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have a for the cast. We're gonna do a Schmigadoon watch party with food and beverages,
Yeah,
and
that'd be
we're gonna do it because I'm just season one, and we're gonna do it, and then get everybody. We'll do it here somewhere. We'll have fun with it.
okay. I would love that.
All right. Well, listen, I'm going to go and I'm going to let you go.
All
So,
right.
again, I want to thank Mike Schwitter, who is our Tommy in Brigadoon. I'm so excited to have you come down here because I fell in love with your voice and your acting when we were together. And you're just a dream to work with. And I think you'll have fun in Annapolis. And so we're gonna have some fun down here, and then we'll do Brigadoon, and the audience is gonna love you, and I think it'll be fun. So,
Thank
and,
you.
uh,
I'm really, really excited. I'm
so
excited
welcome.
to do
So
again, sing these great songs. It's going to be great.
it's going to be great. So come see us September 26th, 27th at 7:30 p.m. Go to liveartsmd.org for tickets. And I will see you in September with Mike for Brigadoon. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.